You guys have been asking for a kettlebell snatch tutorial, and I completely understand why, because the kettlebell snatch is one of the most prolific lifts within the exercise selection, but it's also one of the most overcomplicated exercises. Today I'm going to take you through a workout that is featured in Kettlebell Built, and it's very much a movement ingrainer to be able to help you learn and complete the snatch within a really high quality and high efficiency work rate, essentially. We dissect the snatch into 3 separate lifts. We have the swing, we have the high pull, and then we have the punch out. The best way of describing a punch out is essentially an overhead press. It's really important that we focus on those 3 stages of this lift, because if you try and go straight into a snatch, it can be overcomplicated, it can be dangerous, and you might not have the stability or movement patterns that are required to be able to complete the lift to a high efficiency. And that's what this is all about. Yes, you want to lift heavy weight with a snatch, but if you don't have movement efficiency and movement quality when trying to go towards heavier loads, things get really difficult and, quite honestly, dangerous. The workout today is going to be 3 swings, 3 high pulls, and then 3 half snatches. Now, half snatch is essentially when you're in the top position, you re-rack to here, and then we drop down. The reason why I prescribe half snatches rather than full competition snatches is simply because it enables you to ensure that your position is correct, and it enables you to be able to actually focus on the movement pattern that is required to complete the snatch, rather than adding in the complication of trying to absorb the load within the downward portion of a full competition snatch. Okay, some pointers when it comes to single arm kettlebell swings. You need to ensure that you are driving forcefully with your hips. Really hinge aggressively and turn into the motion. So I'll show you here. So we start off with the kettlebell angled. We go through. You notice how I'm exploding through my hips, and this hand position isn't changing. This is quite important because this hand position enables us to enter into the high pull, where pulling high with the elbow, and that's a really important point. And then from here, what you're essentially doing is you pull high, just like a high pull, then you punch out to catch into the top position. This part should be effortless. You shouldn't really feel weight in the hand. Then you want to ensure that you punch out or extend aggressively to catch the kettlebell. The hand position is important because it enables the rotation of the kettlebell, because that's what the kettlebell is doing. It's rotating around your wrist / forearm. So I'll take you through. Starting position, back nice and neutral, handle position is angled. You go through, pull to the hip, 1, 2, 3. High pull with a high elbow, 2, 3, and then punch out. Rotate and catch. Down, punch out, catch, punch out. As you can see from that, each of those portions of the lift connect to one another. That's all it is. It's just swing, high pull, snatch. Because if you look at the snatch as an overall movement, if we go now into our position, take position, through, and again, and again. So let's recap again. Swing, high pull, fall into snatch. Be confident because you've ingrained that portion, and as long as you're explosive enough within that, you can then go into the turnover, rotation, whatever you'd like to call it. You'll see the hand position from here, round, punch out. Your forearm isn't doing a lot of the work. The kettlebell will rotate around you. That's why the starting position is so key. Because if you have it like this, it makes it, 1, very uncomfortable, but it also changes the position of your body. You want to rotate into it to generate the torque or power that's required. reset. This session can be either maintenance load throughout, which in my humble opinion, if you are new to doing kettlebell snatches or you're trying to learn how to do kettlebell snatches, that's the only option. Get this down, even if you have like a 12 kilo kettlebell. Admittedly, if you've got some form of training experience, sometimes the feedback with the 12, with the full snatch, you can't feel much because of the amount of power that you should be producing. But you can increase the amount of rounds. I've done this when I was first learning how to do the kettlebell snatch. I did this between 12 to 15 rounds just with a 24 kilo kettlebell, learning how to do each of them. It's light intensity, it's not overly stressful for the body, but it's all about just ingraining the movement patterns. And then on the flip side, if you're like me today, where you have a bit of a technical proficiency within the lift, you can of course go up in weight. You'll notice when I re-rack, I bring in the front rack assistance. It's on purpose. It's so that I can just absorb the load, take a moment to then enter into the bottom half portion of the snatch. That's why I do that. So we're on set 4 now. With the rain today, I am going to be sensible in respects to loading. I'm on new medication at the moment this week, so I'm going through side effects of that. So my training intensity isn't crazy high, and that's fine. This is the beauty of Kettlebell Built. You can choose the intensities in which you want to train at, depending on how you're feeling on that day. Then I'm hoping tomorrow, with a little bit of better weather, I'll be able to increase the intensity a little bit. But today is all about movement, all about ingraining patterns. The top end set, I truly believe, will probably be 28 today. It's not going to be a heavy session. Remember, shoulder width, just outside shoulder width apart. Make sure you've got a firm base. Squeeze your toes, crunch your toes in and create that torque within the feet, okay? Your handle position is the same every single time. It's set before you even start. You reach down, you take a grip, and you begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Easy. Okay, let's go again. 1, 2, 3. Take a second. As always, my left is always a little bit janky. It's getting better. Now the 28 adds in some difficulties because of the increase in the size, the diameter of the handle. Girthy. This is going to be last set for me today, and then we're going to go in. The rain is starting to come down a bit heavier now, so as I said, last set. Oh yeah. It's getting a little bit sketchy with the rain now. That is the session done. Remember, the snatch is a complicated lift, but it's as complicated as you make it. Break it down into these 3 steps and I can guarantee it, you will learn this very quickly, and in no time whatsoever, your weights and reps will be going through the roof. Remember, Strong from the Start, one of the most comprehensive beginner guides to kettlebell training, is now live. If you would like 15% off, use discount code KBB15 and then you can start your journey. Included in this manual, you get a full breakdown of everything kettlebell related, as well as an 8-week program. Click on the link in the description if you're interested, and I'll speak to you again soon.